Hey, and welcome to the Megan Waldrop podcast. I'm your host, Megan, and I'm so happy to have you today. If you're new here, welcome to the crew. Pull up a chair. If you've been here a while, thanks so much for being here. You know how much I love you. And we're just going to keep talking about things that are going to make us feel more empowered about ourselves, help calm our nervous systems, share beliefs that we have, different practices that we're learning, and just being vulnerable with each other because that's really where the connection comes. And that's why this episode is so, yeah, it's going to go there in the vulnerability space. If you heard me speak before, you know that I'm not afraid to talk about things when it gets to my relationship on certain levels. Of course, I won't share everything, but this part about our relationship is something that I only reveal to people when they come to visit our house, or yeah, maybe in conversations I'll bring it up because I'm not ashamed of it at all. But I have to say, separate beds have saved our relationship. We've slept in separate beds since the beginning of our relationship, to be honest with you, and not intentionally. At first, we lived on a sailboat, and there is a V berth in our sailboat, which is the V part, the forward, the bow part of the ship where it goes into a V. In some ships, they have one giant bed that's in the shape of a V. And on our ship, it was a like two twin beds on either side of the wall. So we didn't actually have one shared space. So we spent the first several years with each other, probably the first 3 years, sleeping in these separate beds, which was fine. I mean, we could still reach over and touch each other and hold each other's hand, and it was sweet. But it was also great because I didn't have to worry about him waking me up. But I didn't realize that until later. But after we lived on the boat, we lived in an Airstream trailer, and it was a small trailer. So it was the two couches converted into a beds, but they were both twin beds. So again, we didn't have one bed for each other. We had twin beds. And it wasn't until we rented a home, we were in Ojai, California, that there was a queen bed. We're like, oh, cool, a queen bed. No, let me tell you, we get in that queen bed and it did not work out at all for us. First of all, I'm extremely light sleeper. I need earplugs in. I don't want anybody touching me. I will wake up at the drop of a hat. Chris will, I call him with love, I say this. He's like a breached whale doing a 360 turn when he does when he's sleeping. Like when he needs to roll over, I feel like he breaches in the air like a whale and slams down into the water. Like that's how it feels for me. But we didn't really like get it at first. We're like, oh, okay, this is just us getting used to things. And also at the time he was a commercial fisherman in California, which meant he woke up at the break not, before dawn. He would wake up at 4 a.m. and start his day. It was no bueno. And let me tell you, I woke up like, I'd wake up because he's tossing and turning. And then he'd wake up because he knew that tossing and turning would make me angry. And so he's not even sleeping well because he's actually waking up when he has to turn over, hoping that I don't wake up. What a terrible way to live, let me tell you. First of all, I wake up resenting the one person that I love dearly, intimately in my life. I wake up resenting him for doing something so simple as sleeping. Okay. And he's not even able to get a full night's sleep because he's worried about waking me up. So there's a cycle of resentment going on when we're just trying to get some friggin' rest. And luckily at that house, we had two bedrooms and my office was in the other bedroom. And so I was like, well, how about I just go sleep in this room and you're in this room because you got to wake up early and where this isn't working out. And is that weird if we do this? We're like, oh, let's just try it. No, it was awesome. We both got some great sleep. Sleep is the ultimate health. This is the biggest health kick ever is to get sleep. All right, number one. Number two, I don't want to resent my love. I want to be with him. And it was interesting because when we started sleeping in separate bedrooms, because that was the only way that we had two beds, we almost the intimacy got richer because well, A, we were rested, and B, we missed each other enough to want to be with each other. And so when we moved into our home in North Carolina, I was said, well, we're going to get two separate beds. Oh, this is the other thing. In Ohio, we tried to sleep together, y'all. There's a mattress company out there. I have no idea what the name is, but you can get two separate mattresses, but put on the same bed frame. So we had a queen mattress that was split into two mattresses, and we tried it that way. Like maybe this will help. No, it did not help. I could still feel him moving around and he was still very anxious about turning and doing all those things. So when we moved to North Carolina, we said, let's bring it back to the 1950s, like my grandparents, my dad's side, who had two twin beds. And so we basically just broke up our two queen beds and turned into twin beds. And they're right near each other, but they're in the same room. And this has been so amazing for both of us. Feeling calm and safe in our body and nervous system is how we define success in 2026. And it shows in how we care for ourselves and the people we love. Kent Safety Products makes flotation gear that gives both recreational and professional boaters peace of mind on the water. So whether it's a family day out or a long day on the job, you can focus on the breeze, the waves, and the moments that matter. Because safety is freedom. Freedom is calm. And calm lets your energy flow where it matters most. Visit kentsafetyproducts.com to learn more. That's kentsafetyproducts.com. And the reason why it works is because we have mandatory intimacy every single night. And I'm not talking about having sex. That's not the only intimacy you can have. I'm talking about we have mandatory cuddling on the couch for at least an hour or more before we go to bed. Because since we're not getting that intimate moment in the bed, I want to be able to lay next to him and lay on his chest. And, we can just feel close to one another. It's kind of like how a baby needs to feel, their mom's chest to feel regulated. Well, that's how we feel regulated within our relationship. Mandatory intimacy every single evening. And I'm definitely not talking about making love because I don't even like making love at night. Can we talk about that for a second? Like, why are we doing that? First of all, why are we trying to have sex at night? It's exhausting. Are you tired at the end of the day? Like, I'm not even trying. Let's normalize making love in the middle of the day. Normalize making love in the morning. Then you got the whole day. You have more energy. And then it's like your own little secret that you have with your loved one, throughout the day too. And it's like, oh, this is fun. We're switching it up. But like making love at night, it's too much. Like it's exhausting unless you have like a whole weekend and you can, plan around that. But I'm talking about just normal everyday sexual maintenance between a couple. Am I revealing too much? No, of course not. I'm just sharing what has worked for us. And I feel like, sharing meditation practices, spiritual practices, nervous regulation practices. This has been a huge one for me, honestly, has been having this awareness of just because you sleep separately doesn't mean you love each other any less. If anything, it strengthens your relationship because, like I mentioned, you're not pissed. You're getting actual sleep and then you miss each other. I mean, it's gotten to the point where Chris and I will travel and we need to have an Airbnb with two beds, like two bedrooms or two beds in any way. We were traveling with people. It was four of us. They're like, so we're going to get a 3 bedroom. I'm like, no, we need a 4 bedroom because I need my own bed. But it's just try it out. I think they call this sleep divorce, which that word is so ridiculous to me. There's more and more people doing this, by the way, than you realize. And I want to say that sleep divorce, sure, if you want to call it sleep divorce, better than actual divorce. Like this will actually maybe save your relationship in ways that you would not even realize it. It is effing freeing. I even have my own bed. I have different mattress pad length because he likes a firmer mattress and I like it softer. So guess what? I got my own little memory foam to put on top of that bed and it feels great. I got my own special pillow. I have my book. That's the other thing. Perimenopause woman over here. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I'll practice my breathing exercises and go back to sleep as much best as I can. But sometimes the hormones are raging so much that I have to read just to get myself back to sleep. So I have my headlamp on. By the way, headlamp, hot tip, great for sleeping at night, for not sleeping, but for reading at night. You don't have to have your lamp on to read. You got your headlamp. I even use it on the red light because it reminds me I lived on the sailboat and that's the light we would use inside the cabin. But I would put my headlamp on and I'll read and I'm not all up in his face. It's so great. I have a fan right next to my side of the bed. I'm just saying, don't, this is funny. I was about to say, don't sleep on separate beds. No, don't sleep on the notion of separate beds. Actually sleep on separate beds. Just try it out. If you're ever having any problems with that within your relationship. And you know what? We've even thought about getting one of those beds that have the two separate mattresses and they recline and go back and forth. And we even tried one, but I still feel him move. Okay. And those are investment beds, and I think they're amazing. However, I don't know if that investment would really work for us. We need actual separateness. We call it separate togetherness. And our beds they're two twin beds. I got antique frames, so they're pretty, but they're so close to each other. They're just close enough where the headboards can't touch. So there's no disturbance. But yeah, normalize sleeping in separate beds. I have a friend who is dating someone. It's a first serious relationship in a long time. She's in her 40s. And I said, well, Chris and I sleep in separate beds. She's like, oh, really? She's like, that's a great idea, actually, because she has been on her own for so long that, sharing a bed with somebody is a big transition. And I believe that the person that she's dating, he has a bed that elevates and reclines, but the whole bed does that. Like it's not just one part, the whole bed. So she'll wake up and she's like sitting upright, like, what is happening? And then so she's not getting a great amount of sleep and she works all day. She's a business owner, very successful woman. And I said, well, why don't you try not only the separate bed, but hey, afternoon delight, man, that is the way to go. She's like, oh, I really like this idea. And then she said, well, how come you and Chris never thought about sleeping with two separate double beds? And honestly, that blew my mind. I didn't even think about making our individual beds bigger. But I guess because we already had the split queen and we just went to the straight split twin. But I mean, our bedroom could definitely hold it. So that's an option too. You could also have separate beds that are bigger. And we have tried the California King when we stay at his dad's house. Their guest room has a nice big California King, and it's nice, but to me, it almost feels too big. It's almost like when he's on one side, I'm on the other. I feel very far away from him. I can still feel him a little bit move, enough for that resentment to rise, for that Kundalini to rise. um, but it just feels so far away. Like in the twin, we can at least hold hands. And like I said, it's the mandatory intimacy that we have every single night that keeps us feeling connected. If we didn't have that, if we were sitting in separate chairs, or if we were just kind of like, all right, good night, and step, I feel like we would feel more like roommates. That's just me personally. And we're not even physical touch people as our love language as being the top. My number one love language, I'm sure many of you understand if you've been following for a while, is words of affirmation. I want you to write me a love note, and Chris wants me to do an act of service. So emptying the trash to him is like writing a love note to me. Or as I like to say, back when we lived on the boat, we had a compostable toilet. And that's exactly what you think it is. Now, the toilet isn't compostable. You have to compost your own stuff. When I'd empty the pee jug, okay, that meant more to him than anything. And that to me is whenever he writes me a love letter on my birthday every year, that's that equates, which is hilarious to me. Emptying a pee jug for him and writing a love note or a love letter to me, those are the same levels of I love you and I see you and I'm here for you. And so for me, when we have these moments at night when we're cuddling on the couch, that really does keep us strong and keeps us feeling like we are still. So I hope that this has been helpful in some way. Let's normalize sleeping well. Let's just normalize good sleep health in some way. Maybe if you're not in separate beds, maybe it's just even wearing an eye mask or earplugs that could be helpful, or, you know, having some kind of agreement where your partner is going to respect the way that you go to sleep and the way that you do. Maybe you have a fan going or you have some ambient music going on that can shut off at a certain time where they won't disturb you if you're the one to fall asleep first, or vice versa. So I'm just saying, separate togetherness. This has been something that's been huge. I mean, our whole relationship up until now for 10 years has been long distance dating too. So there was that whole getting used to being together again, not just physically in a bed, but physically in a home together. And that separate togetherness has really made us feel stronger within ourselves as individuals, but also within our relationship. So I want to shout out to those who feel like it might be weird if you want to sleep in a separate bed, or separate room than your loved one. It's not weird. There's so many people doing this more than you realize. And I know some people are like, ew, that's divorce. I'm like, no, if you do it with intention, it's not. If you do it knowing that you're doing it for your health, number one, for your health, number one, which is the most important. Number two, for the health of your relationship, whether that's that you're both getting rest so you can enjoy each other, or you're both getting rest so you're not resenting each other. What's better than that? I'm just saying. It's all about the intention. It's not about separation. It's about the separate togetherness. You're doing this together and you're doing it in a way to support yourself and one another. Normalize separate togetherness. You don't need to be together all the time. You, that's my sister. I've told her before, I was like, when Chris goes, I really enjoy this time to myself. I really like it when I can just have the house to myself. And she goes, yeah, you just want to be like, I want to miss you. Like, I want to miss you. It's good to miss each other. It's good to want to be with each other, to remind yourself, oh, I do really appreciate this person and their presence in my life and their energy and how I can regulate my nervous system by being with them, or even regulate my nervous system by sleeping next to them in a separate bed. So, normalize that separate togetherness. I hope that you found this helpful. And I look forward to any comments you have on YouTube, or find me on Apple, Spotify, of course. And you can DM me on Instagram at megan.waldrop, or email me at support@meganwaldrop.com. Let me know how this one hit. Can't wait to hear from you, and I'll see you next time.